All right, here we are, day 28, 28 out of 30. And this is our special week of really highlighting some of the wonderful men of the Meadows and the program that I've been honored to be a senior fellow with and to meet some wonderful men. And with me right now is Allan Benham, who is definitely one of those men. He and I hit it off right away when we first met. And Allan, welcome.
Thank you, Dan. I'm honored to be among your men of recovery this month. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Wonderful to have you, and thanks for joining. And you've had an interesting journey in your recovery path. You told me a little bit about that, and I'll let you share what you would like of that. But same question that I start every interview with, it's just one. You know it. It is, what is the greatest gift that recovery has given you to help you be the man you always knew you could be?
You know, I had the benefit of being able to watch some of your other videos beforehand and prepare my answer. But even then, it still seems woefully inadequate. But the greatest gift that recovery has given me is the ability to connect on others on a really authentic level, to be truly who I am. You know, when I was in my addiction, when I was acting out, I always tried to put on the show, to be who the person in front of me wanted me to be be liked, or to get what I needed, or what I thought I needed, what I wanted. And it was just the inauthenticity was incredibly painful, you know, and then you have to remember who you are with this person and that person in order to gain favor. And now I don't have to do that. Now I can just show up. I can be Allan, whether it's at work, whether it's at play, whether it's on a video conference or anywhere. And I know that the people who are in my life like me for who I am, and not the show that I put on.
Mm. And that show seems so important to so many men. I mean, this is not judgmental of men. I think we learned that very early, that we're not okay just as we are, that we have to put on some show, that we're constantly reaching for that brass ring of masculinity. And every time we feel like we've got it, something else says, well, no, you're not quite there, and you gotta do more. And so that pressure to perform, that pressure to be someone else, man, what a relief to be able to let that go when you're able to be your authentic self. I don't know about you, but for me, that has come though with its own challenges.
It has. You know, when I first got into recovery, it was learning about who I really was. I spent so much time creating false personas and being who was. It was learning my own core values. You know, when you came out and presented to the guys at Gentle Path and you talked about the man rules, it was like, oh yeah, I've seen that in real life in for recovery, and really seeing through those. It was an incredible experience. I remember just sitting in the back of the room just in awe as you were talking with the guys. It is a difficult journey trying to figure out that who exactly I am compared to who I was when I was an addict, or when I was acting out, or even who I wanted to be in a relationship with other men, or with the women in my life, or even with my kids. And that was difficult. But what I came out with was somebody who is caring about the people in his life, who is honest and just true to the things that I learned when I was a kid that I lost when I started acting out, when I started picking up my addiction and running. And all those things that we learn as men growing up, I think you said it, what is it? Don't cry, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and don't show emotion, putting all that aside and learning that that's okay. And that was difficult and incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, the reward is very powerful, and it can be challenging. And I find that those man rules are so powerful, they still come up for me all the time. And it's that awareness that I have, that consciousness about it, that is the great gift. You talked about the performance, and what I found, and still find, unfortunately, is sometimes when I'm performing and not being authentic, it's because I'm I want to fit in, or it's because I'm afraid that maybe I'm not going to be accepted, or people might get mad at me, or I'm not going to feel as connected, or I'm actually going to realize I don't really like being around these people.
I'll tell you what I find it comes up the most, Dan, is when I'm with somebody who hasn't maybe embraced, the man rules, who's still in that alpha role, who wants to kind of be the top dog. And then I kind of feel myself going, well, wait a minute, me too. I want to be and then I can just take a step back and go, wait a second, I don't need to be that person. I don't have to absolutely be the top dog. So,
well, and that's part of the fun, right? So even when I was presenting to your guys, some of them were really kind of coming at me with that stuff.
Yeah.
And the gift is that we get to model for those men, like, you don't have to be that way. And it's all fear, and it's all about not feeling safe, and it's all about just this kind of knee-jerk reaction to being. And the power of authenticity for me is that I may not have 1,000 friends, but the friends that I have, I know and I trust, and it's like, because I get to be me with them.
Yeah.
And I can give parts of me to other people. And then that's also maybe, I think, part of that authenticity is deciding who gets it.
That's a great point. I was just sitting there thinking about that. The truth is when I embraced my authenticity and who I am, it means that I can choose to accept into my life the people that I really, really want. Instead of trying to be friends with everybody and making sure that everybody likes me, I can go, you know what, Dan, it's okay if you don't like me. I'm going to go over here and talk with Don and see, because I'm a little more attracted to his masculinity or his authenticity rather than what I'm feeling is an inauthenticity. Not that I get that from you at all, but just as an example.
Sure.
I never realized that I had that choice, whether it was in personal relationships with women or men. I just thought I had to get everybody to like me. And you're right. I don't need 1,000 friends. I just need 10 good ones.
Yeah. And the power, I think, also of authenticity is that, and several of the men have talked about it, and it's no surprise that several of the men who work at the Meadows have talked about it.
Shocking.
In the sense that it's that also that core sense of, I have inherent value. I have inherent worth and value, as Pia says all the time, that is not contingent upon any performance. It's not contingent upon any zeros in my paycheck, any particular car, any particular anything. It's just there. And if I really truly internalize that and believe that, then why would I be anything other than me?
It was, I've been at the Meadows for a significant period of time, for 15 years now. And when I internalized that idea from Pia, and I really did it when I went through the survivors workshop at the Meadows, but when I internalized that, it was amazing the actual success that I got when I felt my own worth and value. That was truly when I went back to school, when I started, getting professional success, when I really got recovery and got it. The people that I call my best friends in recovery was when I started presenting authentically and from a place where I knew that I was worthy of that friendship. Yeah, you're right. That inherent worth and value is probably one of the hardest things for us to learn, and it's probably one of the greatest lessons. Yeah, and
it really is such a gift. Now, the interesting thing is that society doesn't encourage that, and it can. I certainly find that it can ebb and flow depending on stress and depending on where I'm at, how well I'm taking care of myself, or any particular situation. But now I have so much more awareness of when I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I have so much more awareness that that's the lie. It used to be that the lie was like I actually brought something of value, and then underneath the real truth was, I'll just never amount to anything. Now it's reversed, and what a gift that is.
You know, when I'm talking with other men in recovery now, I tell them that one of the gifts of recovery that you get is that your pain tolerance becomes about that why. You know, and if you stray outside of that pain tolerance, you instantly know when you're not being true, when you're not being authentic, when something's off, and you can get back to center a lot quicker. You know, it doesn't mean that I stay in center, because I may skip to the other side, or I'm still human. But when I'm not feeling authentic with myself, if I'm not feeling my own worth and value because of whatever reason, stressors or not enough personal care, I can feel it and identify it a lot faster than I used to.
Well, I really appreciate it. And, I just hope maybe if one of the outcomes of this project is that more and more men will be open about these conversations. They're happening everywhere, but we keep them secret.
Oh, we do, because we can't tell everybody we're weak, right?
Yeah, right. Or, it's so interesting. So, what's been such a gift for me in doing this project is I get to connect with men at such an honest and real level. And I think that's all any of us really want. It takes a lot more to get there than people realize. And Facebook is just not, it's such an interesting attempt for vulnerability and authenticity. And it has its place. But there's something to be said for this one-on-one connection. And again, because you know how important this is to me, men reflecting what a healthy, conscious masculinity looks like, and not having it look like it's the exception.
No, it should be the rule.
It should be the rule.
Yeah, and I can say that was one of the things that was really appealing about when I met you the first time, and the first couple of days we spent together, was I felt your authenticity and the fact that you were right there in the room, and that was incredibly appealing.
No, thank you so much. So, as you know from the videos you've seen, I love for my guests to have the last word. And so I just want to say thank you for being a part of this. I've so enjoyed our connection. I've so enjoyed what I've learned from the Gentle Path and this whole other area of the journey of humanity. And I'm just so looking forward to learning more. It's really special for me to be able to do this, and I just want to thank you for being a part of it.
Well, I tell you, like as I said at the beginning, it's an honor to be even considered and asked, much less actually be speaking with you. I've enjoyed every minute I've ever spoken with you and spent with you, and I look forward to many more, Dan.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Allan. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and make sure that you get that last little bit of Celebration of Recovery Month in there.
Will do. I'm heading for a meeting tonight. So
awesome. All right.